I'm Cerise Jaffe. I live in Newton Lower Falls on Halburn Road. I've done so for 40 years. I live in a modest-sized house on a small lot. I'm not speaking from the perspective of a grand Victorian or a modern McMansion. I'm very sympathetic to the plight of those who want to move into Newton and the need for housing, or for those who want to downsize in our city. However, the very aspects that makes Newton so appealing as a place to live, our close-knit communities or green space, the variety of housing insofar as not being cookie cutter, and our very distinct village centers are in danger of completely disappearing if this zoning proposal is passed. I also worry greatly about the loss of many of our historic properties that are not officially landmarked, and most are not. This would be a tragic side effect of the zoning redesign. I am in favor of increasing housing. However, I am not in favor of doing this by building high-rise apartment buildings and adding density to village centers or elsewhere. I believe that this increase in density and the accompanying loss of green space and community will not make our city more vital or accessible or desirable. In fact, I believe it will have the opposite effect. It is well known that home ownership is the key to creating more economic and racial equity, as the previous speaker alluded. I fail to see how this new zoning proposal will promote that. Where are our starter homes or garden apartments that could fulfill this vital need? They're certainly not in those high-rise apartment buildings. The removal of special permits for projects less than 30,000 square feet is a very dangerous and slippery slope. Why should the people of the city agree to remove this kind of oversight and allow developers free rein to build and overbuild with only profit as their goal? I can't think of a less progressive tool to improve our city. Like it or not, we live in a suburb. People shop, work, visit, and seek entertainment all over the place. We drive to Costco in Waltham, or Walden Pond in Lincoln, or up to the Burlington Mall. People, especially now, do not just commute back and forth to Boston. It is a fantasy to think that people will have their needs fulfilled by walking to these small, charming village centers now encompassed by huge high-rise buildings. I think this is a foolhardy fantasy for Newton. Because there is no interconnected, rapid, and frequent public transport in Newton, nor is there any in this plan, I think it will leave people stranded, and it will make the kind of city that doesn't work instead of one that is greatly improved. And lastly, I'd just like to say that despite the statistics that the Planning Committee cites and how they've tried to provide outreach, I have found it to be very, very faulty. I don't think many people saw the exhibit at the public library. It was squirreled away in a very small space. I think all the information that is being provided has a real feel of being selling a proposal rather than genuinely asking for
I'm
feedback.
sorry, Ms. Jaffe, you are out of
Thank you.
time.